All right, so we're going to be solving these two problems. These have combining like terms in them. So we're going to combine like terms, and then we're going to solve the equation. So this has too many x's, and they're on the same side of the equal sign. So you're allowed to put them together. So 5x's plus 2x's is going to give me 7x's. And that's going to be equal to 21 still. So now, this is a one-step equation. The 7 is multiplying with the x. The way you solve any equation is you do the opposite of what it's doing to the variable. So the opposite of multiplying is dividing. Divide by 7, x, divide by 7 equals 3. Same thing over here. So even though there's no number in front of this x, there's actually a 1 in front of it. There's one x here. So if I were to combine these like terms, I have 3x plus 4x. That's going to give me 3x plus x is going to give me 4x. And that's equal to 24. And then if I divide by 4 on both sides, which is the last step, I'm going to get x equals 6. Now let's solve this one. Now these are when you have a variable on both sides of the expression. So this is the second lesson we learned. Now, we have too many x's, and we know that the answer needs to end up being x equals this. So there's no x on this side of the equation. So I'm going to get rid of these x's. I'm going to subtract 4 x's, and now these are gone. But to keep the equation balanced, whatever you do to this side, you must do to the other side. So now we're left with 8x minus 4x is 4x minus 3 equals 25. Now we have to solve this two-step equation. We got to get rid of the 3 and we got to get rid of the 4. When you're getting rid of stuff in an equation, you have to get rid of it in the opposite order of PEMDAS. So we're going to get rid of adding and subtracting first. So the opposite of minus 3 is plus 3. So that's gone. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So we end up with plus 3 over here. So now we're left with 4x equals 28. So now I'm going to divide both sides by 4. That cancels. Divide by 4, and now x equals 7. All right, now we're over here. So here, we have too many x's because there's x's on this side and x's on this side. But this side over here has way too many x's. So what I'm going to do is combine like terms before I begin. So I can combine this 2x with this 7x to make 9x. So now this side has become 9x plus 9 equals 4x plus 44. Now we can do what we did before. There's x's on this side and x's on this side. And we know that the equation at the end is going to read x equals something. So there are no x's on this side. So we're going to subtract x's from this side. Gone. Subtract 4x from this side. We're left with 5x plus 9 equals 44. Now we're going to get rid of adding and subtracting first, because that's what you do. Minus 9. Minus 9, you're always doing the opposite of what is doing to the variable. So it was adding 9, so now we subtracted 9. So now we're left with 5x equals 35. Then the last step, divide by whatever's next to x, which is 5. Divide by 5, x equals 7. Now we are going to solve the last two. So before you solve these, there's distributive property. So we're going to multiply everything in here. We're going to multiply it by 3 before we start. So 3 times x is 3x. 3 times the minus 2 is minus 6. Now we're left with a two-step equation. We get rid of adding and subtracting first. So plus 6, 3x now equals 21. Then we divide by 3, x equals 7. Now we're over here. Now we're going to do the distributive property over here first. Remember this minus sign next to here actually has an invisible 1 here. So negative 1 times 3, that's negative 3x. And negative 1 times positive 8 is negative 8 equals x plus 10 plus 18. So this side has been simplified. There's one x and there's one number. This side has an x and two numbers. So we still haven't simplified both sides. So now we have to simplify this side. This side has 10 and 18, which I'm allowed to put together because they both do not have letters. So nothing changes on this side. This side ends up being positive 28 because of the 10 and the 18. And now this looks like the problems we've been doing already. So now, again, we know that the answer has to end with x equals. So there are no x's on this side. So minus x, this is gone. Minus x, we're left with negative 4x, the minus 8, and it equals 28. Then I'm going to be getting rid of the minus 8. We get rid of adding and subtracting first. So we're getting rid of this one. We're going to add 8. Add 8. We're left with negative 4x equals 36. The last step is going to be dividing by negative 4. Gone. Divide by negative 4. My answer is negative 9. That's it. Good luck.